of Men Control. We are your hosts, Edward and Jeremiah. You might notice this is quite a bassier voice than you're used to having announcing. Our current announcer is actually vomiting at the moment, cannot be with us. So here are your hosts who love to say, so did you hear so-and-so said this or that? Once again, Eddie Spaghetti and Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
There we go, huh?
Who.
Back again.
Who.
So did you hear about this big blockbuster that hit HBO this past weekend?
Oh, it's an HBO movie.
Yeah, it's HBO.
The Sarah Palin thing?
Yeah.
Game Change, even though they stole that off the book.
The movie's actually based off the book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Even though it's all about the same stuff that's in that book?
Because it's based off of it.
I don't understand what you're saying.
The person that produced and directed the movie and wrote the movie used Game Change as the basis for the movie.
Now, does this have anything to do with this clip from the new Sarah Palin sitcom?
Insight into Russian actions, particularly in the last couple of weeks, does the proximity of the state give you?
They're our next door neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
Well, explain to me why that enhances your foreign policy credentials.
Well, it certainly does. As Putin rears his head and comes into the airspace of the United States of America, where do they go? It's Alaska.
Has nothing to do with that. I don't know what that was. That was very unfortunate for Sarah Palin and America.
Yeah, so she's got this sitcom coming out and also this movie, right?
I don't know about the sitcom, but so yeah, Julianne Moore plays Sarah Palin. Have you seen pictures of her? The
very nude-tastic Julianne Moore. Did she get nude as Sarah Palin in this?
I don't think it's any nude scene.
You know why she couldn't? Because she's not as busty as Sarah Palin.
You think Sarah Palin has more upstairs than Julianne Moore?
Uh-huh.
Okay. But I'm not talking about brains, talking about bust size.
Now, that's the kind of gold you get only here on this show. No, I've seen Sarah Palin in her swimsuit competition.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So I know she's bustier than Julianne Moore.
Yeah. And probably Julianne Moore probably has more freckles on her breasts than Sarah Palin.
Yeah, she's more of the Lindsay Lohan variety. It's strange that they got a redhead to play the brunette.
But she looks just like Sarah Palin.
Does she?
I think she does.
Doesn't Tina Fey look more like her and sound more like her?
Well, she is a brunette, like you were saying, so that probably fits more.
They should have got Sarah Palin to play this seriously. That would have been great.
Have her first acting adventure.
Now, is it Sarah Palin or is it Tina Fey in this clip from the new Sarah Palin sitcom?
Ultimately, what the bailout does is help those who are concerned about the health care reform that is needed to help shore up our economy, it's got to be all about job creation too, shoring up our economy and putting it back on the right track. So health care reform and reducing taxes and reining in spending has got to...
I think that was Sarah Palin, right?
That was the real Sarah Palin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, John McCain is being played by Ed Harris.
Uh-huh.
Ed Harris always seems to have some kind of facial deformity working in his movies now.
God.
Yeah.
I thought in the trailer he looked in and out like McCain. Sometimes he looks like McCain, sometimes he looks like...
All he really did was do this. And that looks just like John McCain.
Okay.
Did you think I was John McCain?
I did.
Really? Okay.
Let me do the arms, though. There you go. Point at something. Wow. Wow. You just game changed the whole show.
I was doing the Monster Mash, actually. And Woody Harrelson also is in this movie. He plays the campaign advisor for McCain, the one that talked him into getting Sarah Palin on board.
I gotta admit, anytime I see Woody Harrelson in a movie, I kind of tune out.
Really? He's become power down for you? What about Zombieland?
Listen, I don't necessarily hate the guy.
Yeah.
It's just...
I think he's good.
He's just...
Did he get off on a wrong foot with that character in Cheers? Did you not like him in that?
Yeah, it's ever since Cheers, you know?
Yeah.
Just rub me wrong.
Yeah. There's lots of controversy over this movie. Apparently, Sarah Palin isn't happy with it. She was quoted as saying that the movie lapsed into a tired routine, manipulating facts and omitting key parts in order to push a biased agenda and drive ratings. She said it was based on a false narrative and that it was in Hollywood's good graces for Team Obama.
Yeah, she certainly did make a lot of true points there, but doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I haven't seen the movie, but I'm gonna guess that they can't make her look any stupider than she's made herself look.
She did a pretty good job of it. Yeah.
Here's an example in a new sitcom. Actually, is it a reality show or sitcom? I can't tell. You decide.
I'm just going to ask you one more time, not to belabor the point, specific examples in his 26 years of pushing for more regulation.
I'll try to find you some and I'll bring them to you.
I think that's a reality show.
There was a scene in the movie of her dealing with that type of...
the Russia from my backyard comment.
Right. And it showed on his cell phone after the Katie Couric interview.
Melting down in the stairwell.
Saying, she was out to get me! that kind of thing.
To be fair, how many of us haven't melted down in a stairwell with or without a cell phone?
And the word gotcha was definitely used in that one too, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of them stairway meltdowns, yeah?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
McCain had something to say about the movie too.
Uh-oh.
He said he did not use the amount of coarse language as portrayed in the film, so that was his main gripe, was the amount of coarse language.
Huh.
And that he was upset the way Sarah Palin was portrayed also.
Now, would he really... Is he really keeping tabs on how many times he's cussing? Like,
maybe he's the Christian, doesn't ever use those words, never comes out of his mouth.
I believe your quote was not as many.
Well, okay, you're right.
Of course.
You're right.
So that's really strange that he'd be like, I cuss, but not that much.
Yeah.
Why don't you show me McCain saying that quote?
Okay. I did not use that amount of coarse language in the film, and I was upset with the way Sarah Palin was portrayed. So yeah.
Game changer.
Definitely.
Wow. Who knew we had Resident John McCain here?
The big story coming out of the movie, though, is the amount of sexism portrayed in it. Apparently McCain and this campaign manager, Steve Schmidt, tried controlling Palin, keeping her, within the reins, of their campaign, not letting her do whatever she wanted. And as we all know, she eventually went rogue and counteracted McCain's point several times.
Ooh, yeah. Then she came out with a Palin 2012 shirt, yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So do you think there's any chance of there being a brokered election, a brokered convention, and Sarah Palin grabbing this nomination away from Mitt Romney?
No chance whatsoever.
Okay.
No chance. Mitt Romney, as news was broken live on this show weeks ago, will be your next U.S. president.
Do you think Sarah Palin did cost John McCain the election?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so if it wasn't for her, he would have won?
No, it might have been destined for Obama, but she definitely put the nail in his coffin.
Okay.
A little prematurely.
It was a desperate move on the McCain camp. It came off that way.
And bizarre and idiotic and desperate, because who was she? Other than some hot young broad. No offense. But I do mean offense.
The movie portrayed the conversation between the two, McCain and his campaign manager, and the campaign manager told McCain, if you want to do something different here, this is a different type of election, you need to go big and go strong, and this is how we're going to get the nomination.
So when does this come out?
It came out, it debuted on HBO this past Saturday.
Okay, I'm going to look for it. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
I saw some clips, it looked really, really good. It was by the same people who did that movie, Recount. I don't know if you remember that one, about Al Gore.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So is there any more clips from this Sarah Palin TV show?
Why don't we leave the people with a clip, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Specifically, I'm curious that you...
All of them, any of them that have been in front of me over all these years. I have a vast variety of sources where we get our news. Alaska isn't a foreign country where it's kind of suggested. It seems like, wow, how could you keep in touch with what the rest of Washington, D.C. may be thinking and doing when you live up there in Alaska?